Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. Yeah, you know what it is. Hard worker, scrappy, unfiltered, and sometimes unhinged football content. Hard to explain, but you know it when you see it. Doing it daily our way. I don't know what you're talking about right now. Redraft and Dynasty Fantasy Football, we got you covered. You know their defense is ranked like 31st in the NFL? NFL draft prospects and rookies? Now you know you in the right place for that.
Absolutely.
All right, then stop saying it. Then we're done. And prop bets with my man Jay Rich. Count that money, man. Now wipe the crust out of your eyes. Get you a cup of coffee. It's time to wake your ass up with Ray G. You honestly are making absolutely no sense and you sound silly as hell. Woo! Good morning, 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 good people. It is draft eve, draft day eve, draft night eve. It is Wednesday, April 27th, 2022. Y'all decided to wake y'all asses up, Ray G, and I am excited, happy you are here. I'm pumped, baby. It's like a kid on Christmas, like Christmas Eve. It is truly Christmas Eve of the NFL season. NFL draft pops off tomorrow. I just want to let y'all know we got a full Destination Devi wake up crew extravaganza. Me, Jay Rich, Jordan Backus talking numbers, Mike and Adam from 4D Chess, Eugene's jumping on from the Off the Line Fantasy Football Podcast. We'll try to get Ben Eby from Elite Seekers on. We're bringing the whole crew down. We got other people joining in to talk NFL draft, so make sure you tap in with us. We'll tweet out the link. It's going to be here on the YouTube channel. But come kick it with us for the first and then the first round of the draft, and then we'll be back on Friday to go through rounds 2 and 3. So make sure you tapped in. If you're first time here, thank you, welcome, subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up button, comment for the algorithm. Good morning to everybody in the building. Johnny, Mike A, KBD in the building, Caleb, Marlon always here, Roro, what's up, big dog? John in the building. Oh, man, L Trips, Nick, another Nick, Connor, everybody here. Rojo Fish, what's up, baby? What's up, what's up? Glad y'all are here. How y'all feeling this morning? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? It ain't like we don't have anything, you know, nothing big. Nothing big happening in the sports world. Jay Rich, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. You know, it's like you said, draft eve. We're talking rumor mill. We're talking trades. We're talking bold predictions. And Roro actually asked you about the helmet, the white helmet on the back right. That's a Bengals helmet. That's the matte white with the Bengals stripes. That's a really dope helmet, actually. You can't see it now.
Yeah, you can't see it now,
but it's a sweet helmet.
That's the Cincy. That's the Cincy alternate helmet. Yeah, that's the Cincy alt. Yeah.
Yeah, you were pumped because you ordered all those helmets and 2 of those teams made it to the Super Bowl. So hopefully the other 2 teams, maybe you got the Cowboys and then the other one is the Ravens, right?
Ravens, yeah. So I had the 2. Isn't it crazy? If we would have just bet Super Bowl winners from helmet Super Bowl like predictions, had the Bengals and then the Rams. Like, and this was pre-football season. We had called it, baby. We had called it.
Yeah,
but
man, August.
We called it back in August. But yeah, man, I'm excited to just. Like, we're just talking rumors. You see the TMZ, GQ, and Jay Rich back there. It's rumor mills. Yeah, man, it's the draft. It's the draft. What else are we going to talk about this morning? I mean, there are a couple of things to talk about, and I'm sorry, y'all. One of the filthiest plays in the sports world over this past year, over 2022, happened last night, and we gotta show this, Jay. I wonder if it's going to play the audio, too. Let's see what happens when we put this over here. All right. John Morant, just filthy. Jay, did you see the dunk last night, or was this your first shot of it?
I saw it yesterday because, again, on Twitter,
filthy.
Man, unavoidable. This is the dunk that John's been trying to pull off for what feels like his entire NBA career.
Bro.
You see him, he's tried it on Jakob Poeltl, he's tried it on Jonas Valanciunas, and finally, he got it on somebody. But, oh my God, you talk about signature dunks. That
was insane.
John Morant's signature dunk for his entire career.
Yeah,
I don't think it's well, it's possible. I don't think he's going to have a better dunk in his entire career than that one. That one was just
I don't know, man.
Spectacular at the highest order.
He's good.
It's literally, for people who don't understand, he's tried this dunk multiple times on people, and he's never got it. And that's the first time he's ever got it, probably because he did it on someone
Bro,
who's small.
he
But
killed
man,
Malik
just
Beasley.
disgusting.
And
Just
then he hits
disgusting.
the game winning
Yeah. Game
scoop
winning layup.
under layup.
Yep.
Just quickly, how bad did the New Orleans Pelicans feel taking Zion Williamson over John Morant right now? Do you
They
still
gotta
think
be
Zion?
sick. They gotta be sick, man. And like for people who, and then as well, Ja apparently won Most Improved Player
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
year. Whatever. He's
yeah,
not the most
yeah.
improved player, but that's okay.
Oh
But
gosh,
yeah, if you're the Pelicans, I don't know what you do because Zion's this is his second year at least, maybe third year. Man, but dude's not playing. He's overweight. His foot injuries. It's
yeah,
just
man. I just saw
I
that
don't know.
we had to drop that dunk. I told Jay Rich we got to put that on the show because that was just nasty. But in the NFL world, and the Grizz did win. Sorry for you Minnesota fans out there. They took it down. But in the football world, man, in the football world, some late news happened, and we've kind of been talking about this. I know for a fact I've talked about it on this show a couple of times, and then inside our Discord, I talked about it as well. The Denver Broncos bring back Melvin Gordon on a 1-year deal,
Yeah.
and I was on the FTN Fantasy Football stream with Josh Larkey last night when that news broke, and it wasn't shocking at all. Everybody wants these running backs to be the single ball carrier in an offense, and I think those days are dwindling down. There are very few bell cow running backs in the traditional sense of the word in the NFL. Javonte Williams, we all wanted him to get 90% of the work, 80% of the work. And I've been saying, if I'm Denver, like, they don't give a shit about fantasy football, man. Like, they're doing what's in the best interest of their team. And the best interest of their team to protect their young, good asset is to use multiple running backs. Like, it's to have a two-back system. And I just think we're entering a world. You look at even Nick Chubb, how great he is. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. It was CMC for the longest, and then they bring in a competent running back to spell Christian McCaffrey or work in tandem with McCaffrey. The New England Patriots have been doing this for years. Just multiple backs for multiple situations. There were times even when they had a lead back, and then all of a sudden Brandon Bolden comes on the field, and you're thinking, why the hell is he on the field, right? But he serves a role, right? Pass catcher, good blocker, whatever the case may be. But Javonte Williams, Melvin Gordon coming back. They both had over 200 carries last year. They both had over 900 yards. That future bet that I took, Javonte Williams over 1,100. Oh boy, I'm
Not looking
hoping,
great now.
It's not looking great right now. It's not looking great today. What are your thoughts on Melvin Gordon going back for Javonte Williams? And no, I don't think this nukes Javonte Williams at all. I still think he's going to be a top back, but this definitely, you need to dial back those projections because Melvin Gordon's going to get the ball. He's going to play. So what are your thoughts on that move of bringing Melvin Gordon back?
I actually think it's really good for the Denver Broncos, and it's really good for Javonte Williams. People need to remember as well that not only does the Denver Broncos know what they're getting in Melvin Gordon, but Melvin Gordon understands the situation as well. When you bring in a rookie, he's going to try and beat out Javonte Williams, push Javonte Williams for carries. I think we all know that Melvin Gordon knows he's not going to be the guy. They got rid of him because they want Javonte Williams to be the guy. And he will understand that and groom Javonte. And so for me, I think it's actually a really good situation, knowing that both of them played together, they understand what's going on. And Melvin is a competent running back, but he knows he's going to be spelling Javonte and not being the lead guy. So I actually think this is kind of the best case scenario because this eliminates the possibility of them bringing in a better running back via the draft, right? If they brought in a Ty Chandler or they brought in a Zeus White or even a Brian Robinson and he looked good, he may get more run than a Melvin Gordon would simply because he's a younger, fresher back. But Ray, I was thinking about this as you were talking. Is there, like, honestly, is there any really bell cow running backs? The only one that came to my mind was Najee Harris. But outside of that, like, Alvin Kamara's been in committee his whole career. Christian McCaffrey's probably not going to be a bell cow, maybe. But again, with the injuries, you have to imagine they spell him some more. Outside of that, like you said, Nick Chubb, big bag. Zeke Elliott does get a ton of carries, but we've seen a lot of Tony Pollard. I think that's just part of the offense as well. But Najee Harris is really the only true bell cow, I think, in the NFL right now. Oh, someone said Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon is a pretty good example. He does get a lot of carries. But this is just the NFL. And I think that Javonte Williams is en route to 250 carries and probably 50-ish receptions or so.
Wow,
Which to me is great.
300 total touches for Williams this year? Wow.
Easily. Easily. He had 200 carries last year, and if his role expands, they bring in Melvin Gordon, who's going to be the
Yeah.
backup, clearly. So, like last year, he had 200 carries, and I believe he had 40 receptions and 50 targets. So,
Yeah.
250 opportunities. You just give him 50 more. That's 300 opportunities. That's a good running back. That is it. Where he's being drafted as a top 5, 3, 4 guy, probably, but you're not getting probably the same ceiling people were hoping for when they were drafting Javonte Williams that high. So for me, Ray, honestly, it may cause him to slip in some startup drafts, and I may be more in on Javonte if he's kind of a little bit lower, but I doubt he slips that much simply off this news. But for me, I think it's going to be more of the same, but more Javonte overall.
I think bell cows in the traditional sense of the word, where they're getting damn near every carry. I think it's Najee Harris, Joe Mixon is a bell cow, Jonathan Taylor, of course, Dalvin Cook, I believe, is a bell cow.
That's true.
I can't think of many others right now. Like, it's not like Derrick Henry. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry. Yeah. Derrick Henry is a bell cow. Five bell cows. So the point is, in years past, it was the starting running back got all the work. I think we're approaching this area of football where that's just not. Like, you've got specialists all over the place, man. The same way there are different specialist type wide receivers for different situations, and you've got that with running backs. You've got so many talented guys. The best way to maximize your offense is to get those diverse skill sets on the field. And while we in the fantasy world hate it, that's just what the game is, right? That's what the game is. So I know Josh said that it would bump Javonte Williams down a little bit, right? But I still think he's a top 4 dynasty running back. If you want to put, if him coming back makes you want to put DeAndre Swift ahead of him or whoever your 3 was, you want to move him back a spot. But I don't think it significantly impacts his dynasty ranking. I just think we should just temper expectations a tad bit for this season, but I'm not going to make a wholesale change on Melvin Gordon on a 1-year deal coming back to Denver. You know what I mean? Like, Javonte Williams is only 21 years old. No, it's short-term pain.
You think?
Yeah.
Would you put him in tier 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
At his age, with his skill set, it's short-term pain, man. Like, you just gotta take your time. It's short-term pain. I see some people talking about Zeke, Leonard Fournette as bell cows. Yeah. Gretchen said, does this change fantasy strategy overall in long run if most teams go to RBBC?
Not really for me. I think there will always be some really stud running backs. Like, there's not always going to be Jonathan Taylors, but there will probably be quite a few Joe Mixons. Like Bijan Robinson, we project to be a bell cow. We may see Breece Hall as a 60-70% opportunity share guy because he can do everything, right? So I think there will always be those opportunities, but in the fantasy space, we just need to navigate it from the standpoint of targeting good offenses and where guys will be used in good situations. Like, I think Alvin Kamara is a perfect example of that because early in his career, he wasn't getting a ton of carries, but he was getting a lot of high value opportunities. And that's what we were chasing with Kamara. Yeah. And I think that's what we chase with Austin Eckler as well. So that's what we need to pay attention to more so than bell cow status or RBBC kind of as a trend in the NFL overall.
I think this is a good question by Gretchen, and I've got an answer, but I think what Carlo just said is really important. Just makes the bell cows more valuable. And I've been saying it. If you've got a running back that is going to get 250 carries, 50 receptions, 275 carries, there's that much more of a premium on those guys, right? I 100% agree with this. But back to Gretchen's question, right? Like, the strategy, right? Where's that at? God damn it, Ray. Here we go. Does it change fantasy strategy overall? I think what it does, and I think what may happen, is if you can identify the teams that have that backup plus type running back. So let's just say in an ideal world, they're all healthy and he's on the field, and you've got the Kareem Hunt to Nick Chubb. While I would much rather have Nick Chubb on my roster, if I know Kareem Hunt's going to be the primary receiving back and still get his 8 or 9 carries a game, there may be situations where I'm like, I'll let my league mates take Nick Chubb in the 5th round or the 4th round or wherever he's going, and then I can wait until round 9 or 10 or whenever. I don't know what their ADPs are, but take the 1B to the 1A, the Kareem Hunt, right? it's if Dallas, like a good example of that potentially playing out to the positive this year is Dallas with Tony Pollard. If they commit to Tony Pollard as truly the 1B to Zeke, they're like, man, Zeke's slowing down. We got to get Pollard the ball a little bit more. While I still don't think he'll outscore Ezekiel Elliott, I think the value in sort of tearing down or waiting and going with Tony Pollard opposed to Zeke Elliott would be a valuable play. I'd be interested to see what happens in Arizona or in Detroit with the NFL draft. Do those guys bring in running backs to complement, DeAndre Swift or James Conner? So it's too early to say, Gretchen, like, does it change fantasy strategy overall in the long run? But if teams do start to deploy this RBBC, I think to Carlo's point, it makes the guys like Najee Harris, like Joe Mixon, like Dalvin Cook, like Derrick Henry, like Jonathan Taylor, even more valuable because the points over replacement for those guys will be so much bigger. It'll be a much wider gap than, some of the mid guys that are just strictly splitting carries. Like a concerning situation is Green Bay with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. Like that,
I was going to bring that one up.
That could be a full.
That's a good RBBC though. Like they're both valuable assets, and I think in the fantasy community, the hard part is which one do you choose, right? Because they go really, really close in startup drafts and in drafts overall. But I think that's, for me, more situation dependent. Like you talked about the Browns, a run first offense. The Cowboys could be a run first offense. Green Bay could be a run first offense. So I think it's about identifying offenses that you want, players that are in RBBCs as much as it is obviously targeting those bell cows and getting them on your rosters.
All right, we got a rumor that I saw that I was excited about. So I want to talk this one. So here's one of the rumors, right? A projected trade from an NFL insider on The Drive, the 49ers. So we all know Deebo Samuel's projected it. Everyone's saying he's going to get traded. So here's a projected rumor trade. The 49ers get Elijah Moore, the 10th overall pick, the 38th overall pick. So a first and a second plus Elijah Moore for Deebo Samuel and a third. Jay, what do you think about this? What this seems like this would be a great trade.
Could you imagine?
Could you
imagine what would happen to the Jets if they did this trade? They would get, New York media would just light them up for weeks. This is a terrible trade. And not to say that it couldn't happen. I mean, if people think that's what Deebo is worth, power to you. But could you imagine giving up Elijah Moore and the 10th overall pick?
I know, man.
And only getting Deebo Samuel in return? Even the 38th pick is whatever. Like, yeah, it's still valuable. I'm sure you get 93 back. But on top of having to extend Deebo Samuel for $20+ million a year, that's just crazy. Because when I saw something about this earlier, I was assuming they would keep the 10th pick, right? They take Elijah Moore, they send him to San Francisco, and then they still have the 10th pick to draft Garrett Wilson, Drake London to have, their more ideal receiving corps, I assume. I don't get it, man. Can you make any sense of this, Ray? Trading all this away.
This shit man. Listen, man. It doesn't seem like it. Okay, so here's my take on it. The reason why I don't think this, I think it's terrible, but why I think there's some merit